Josh Emmett versus Ilia Topuria goes down this weekend at UFC on ABC 5. Emmett versus Topuria. I'm going to give you guys my full breakdown, prediction of the fight. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is my first video on the channel. And drop some comments on some video ideas you guys like to see, and I'll do them. I'll do them for you guys. Let's go. Let's get on to round number 1. So in round number 1, we're going to be talking about the strengths and weaknesses of both fighters. Let's start off with Ilia El Matador Topuria. Biggest thing for Topuria, he's well-rounded, man. He is super well-rounded. He's got the boxing. He's got some super slick boxing. He's super fast too, man. He's super fast on the feet. He has crazy power. Look at a fight like Jai Herbert. Look at his fight with Jai Herbert, Bryce Mitchell. The dude's got some ridiculous power. And against a guy like Josh Emmett, you're gonna need some power. And he also has the submission game and the wrestling. Outside of the UFC, he has a lot of submissions. I know he only has one submission in the UFC so far, but dude, he likes choking people out. He likes choking people out, and he has dominant wrestling capabilities. He landed 5 takedowns in his UFC debut on short notice against Yusuf Zalal, so that could be a big problem for a guy like Josh Emmett in this fight. Another thing, he is young, he's quick, he is fast, and against a guy like Josh Emmett, who's 38 years old man Emmett, he's breaking down. Let's be real, guys. He tore his ACL, he tore his MCL too, if I'm not mistaken. So a guy like Ilia Topuria, who's fast, he's powerful. We might see Father Time catch up to Josh Emmett in this fight. We really could. And I wouldn't be surprised if he retires. I wouldn't be surprised if Ilia Topuria retires Josh Emmett, because he's 38, right? 38 or 37. I might be wrong. I don't care. He's old, right? And if he's not in the title picture, I could just see him retiring. So the youthfulness of Ilia Topuria could be big in this fight. Another thing, I see all you guys on the internet underrating Ilia Topuria's chin. The dude has a good chin, and even more so, the ability to recover. Look at a fight like Jai Herbert. Dude got a forearm a shin to the chin, right? It was like a baseball bat. Boom, baseball bat to the chin. Yeah, he got knocked down, but dude, his ability to recover was insane. He recovered in like a second. He was like the Flash, and then he got the takedown. Like against a guy like Josh Emmett, who's got power, it could be huge if he has a good ability to recover. And that's what Ilia Topuria has. Now let's go on to the weaknesses of Ilia Topuria, because there's one glaring one. It's the sun. It's beaming in my eyes. It's how much he overextends. Ilia Topuria overextends so much, and you cannot do that against a guy like Josh Emmett. You really cannot, because he will put your lights out. So I want to see Ilia Topuria. I want to see him improve. Obviously, I want to see him improve. I don't want to see him overextend as much, but if he doesn't improve that, he could lose this fight. He could get knocked out cold against a guy like Josh Emmett. Now let's move on to the strengths of Josh Emmett. The dude's got experience, man. He's a 38-year-old machine. He's still shredded to the bone. He's big. He's strong. And dude, his experience against a young guy like Ilia Topuria could be huge. He has 5-round experience against a guy like Calvin Kattar, who's known for pushing the pace. And he has championship experience as well against a guy like Yair Rodriguez. Of course, he lost that fight, but still being in that situation, still being in that event could be huge against a younger guy like Ilia Topuria, where this is his biggest fight in his career. And the biggest thing going for Josh Emmett is the right hand. The dude's got a right hand sent from God. I mean, it could also be to the detriment of him. I'm going to get onto that later, but his right hand is so powerful. He likes using his movement to get his right hand just flush on the chin. So, yeah, it's powerful, man. He's got a lot of power in that right hand, and against Topuria, who overextends, he'll be looking to throw that right hand a lot of the time. And yes, it's powerful, but it could be to the detriment, and I'm going to get onto that right now. Weaknesses of Josh Emmett. He's very predictable. That's one thing. Yes, he has a great right hand, but a lot of the times, you know it's coming. You know he's backing up, and boom, right hand over the top. But against a guy like Topuria, who I think has a great fight IQ, he's very adaptable in his fights. He's able to change his fighting style depending on who he's fighting. So against a guy like Emmett, I think he'll be wary of the right hand. Yeah, it's predictable, man. And another weakness of old man Emmett is he's injury prone. He's injury prone, and he's old. He's fighting a young guy like Topuria, a young killer in Topuria, and maybe Father Time catches up to him. It's a real possibility. It would suck, but there's a possibility he just falls off a cliff. I'm going to be honest. I don't think it will happen, but there's absolutely that possibility. He's torn his ACL. He's torn his MCL. You never know what could happen. Now let's move on to round number 2. So in round number 2, we're going to talk about the paths to victory for each fighter. Let's start off with Ilia Topuria once again. Ilia Topuria, go to the ground and wrestle. Against a guy like Josh Emmett, there's no need to stand and bang with him. There's no need. He's got power, and he'll be waiting for you to overextend. So just go to the ground, wrestle, and try to find a submission. Because one thing I see nobody talking about, which I think is something huge, is that in his UFC debut, Ilia Topuria, that is, he landed 5 takedowns on short notice. 5 takedowns on short notice. You know what that says to me? You know what that says to me is that Ilia Topuria could depend on his wrestling. He could depend on his wrestling if times get tough and he's in a little sticky situation. Short notice fight, that sticky situation. Power against Emmett, or power of Emmett, I should say. Sticky situation. So go in there, grapple, wrestle. You know you could depend on it, so go ahead and do it, man. Another thing that Ilia Topuria needs to do in this fight, and I've talked about it so much already in this video, don't overextend. Please, for the love of God, I'm a big fan of yours. Do not overextend, because Josh Emmett will hurt you. Josh Emmett will be looking for you to overextend. You'll be throwing your arms everywhere, and then boom, right hand over the top. You don't want that. You do not want that. And Josh Emmett is that one guy that could put your lights out, man. There's not a lot of super powerful guys in the featherweight division, but against a guy like Josh Emmett, you don't want to be overextending. So that's one thing I want to see Ilia Topuria improve on. And I know I said I want Ilia Topuria to wrestle, but when you're on the feet, you're great on the feet. You could strike a little bit, but get in Emmett's face, man. Make it uncomfortable for him. You know you're the better grappler, so if you get hurt in close range, you know you could grapple, all right? But one big thing is it'll counter the right hand, it'll counter the overhand right hand, but Ilia Topuria has great left hands to the body. If you watch film, you guys better watch film on him. He throws that left hand to the body, right to the liver, and it hurts. It's super powerful. And against a guy like Josh Emmett, who has been susceptible to the body, against Yair Rodriguez, you saw those body kicks, right? It hurt him. He dropped his hand super low. You know, he got hurt with those Yair Rodriguez body kicks. So one big thing I want Ilia Topuria to do is to rip to the body. Rip to the body. Now let's move on to the path to victory for Josh Emmett. Keep the fight on the feet. It's that simple. Do not go to the ground with Ilia Topuria. Yes, you might be confident in your abilities on the ground, but Ilia Topuria is better, man. I don't wanna have to convince you. Ilia Topuria is better on the ground. He has very good transitions. That's one thing. His transition ability is very good, and it complements his offensive jiu-jitsu skills very well. So keep the fight on the feet. You know he overextends. You know he has some flaws on the feet. So use your right hand, use your movement, and stay on the feet, man. I want to talk about the movement yet again, real quick. This is honestly how I could see the fight going for Josh Emmett if he were to win. He's gonna be moving backwards as he always does. He's gonna move back and then boom, overhand right. He's gonna uncork the overhand right when Ilia Topuria overextends, and I could see that being the end of the fight. Boom, he knocks him down. Big shot, obviously. Hurts Topuria and gets a few little ground and pound. Boom, boom, boom. Ground and pound strikes, and the fight's over. That's what I see. That's what I see happening if Josh Emmett wins this fight, and it's a real possibility, man. This fight is a lot closer than what a lot of you guys are saying. Even the odds makers, what the fuck are you doing? I saw Ilia Topuria minus 350. Minus 350 is crazy. Honestly, this is like a 50-50 fight in my opinion. Now let's move on to the third and final round of the video, the official prediction of the fight and the bold prediction. So on this channel, we're going to have something called the bold prediction, and it's pretty much a bold fucking prediction. It's a bold prediction for the fight, and in this fight, I got a pretty bold prediction, right? So Ilia Topuria, funny enough, has never thrown a body kick or a head kick in his UFC career. Not once. He's never thrown one. And I think he's going to throw a body kick in this fight. That's my bold prediction. He's going to throw a body kick. We saw Josh Emmett versus Yair Rodriguez. We saw Yair Rodriguez hurt Josh Emmett multiple times to the body. So if Ilia Topuria is just a fucking idiot and he won't kick to the body, I don't know what to tell you guys, but he absolutely should, and I think he will land a kick to the body. That's the bold prediction. Now on to the official prediction for the video. Guys, it's a lot closer than what we're saying. Minus 350 odds for Ilia Topuria is not great. It really isn't. When both guys are really powerful, when both guys are very dangerous, it could go either way. But in these fights where it's close like this, I tend to lean with a guy who has more arrows in the quiver, who's got more tools in the arsenal, and that is Ilia Topuria. I'm going to be rolling with Ilia Topuria in this fight. I'm going to go with second round arm triangle choke, arm triangle submission. That's what I'm going with. I want to know who you guys think's going to win this fight. Put it in the comments. It's going to be sick. I can't wait for Saturday. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.